My name is Kathy. Now listen. My husband Jace actually works as a CEO of a fairly big company, so I don't want to reveal our real names. I also don't want to lie to you guys and keep you in the dark about this, so I said it right away. This story is not about my mother-in-law Bella. Rather, it's about my stepmother-in-law Dana, who is my husband's stepmother. Let me just start with some background info. Dina hates me with all her being. At first, I thought that she just needed to get to know me. Nope. This woman is a horrible person. The reason she didn't like me was because I come from a humble background and do not belong to a high-class family like her. Jace's dad was rich and married Dina after cheating on Bella with her. They split, and Jace stayed with his dad because his mom didn't have the means to support him. Bella came from a humble background like me and was unfortunately wrecked in the divorce due to a prenup. Dina hated Bella as well, and filled Jace's head with lies about his biological mom abandoning him. Since Jace rarely saw his mom due to her being in a different state, he believed those lies at first. When the truth came to light, he tried to reconnect with his mom but didn't want to let Dana go. Dina actually showed Jace that she loved him. She didn't have any children, but had a niece who she thought would be a perfect match for Jace. It was creepy, and Jace always said no. Dina still held out hope, so my presence in Jace's life was a big problem to her. She always told me, "Don't think that you will stay with Jace for long. Men like Jace will drop their cheap partners as soon as they get a good promotion. It won't match their status, so they will dump their wives to find new ones." I think you're not giving Jace enough credit, Dana. He is a good man and not like the others. He would never do that to me. Oh, we will wait and see. Don't be surprised when you see him around with my niece. They have a great bond and would have been married if you hadn't trapped him. When Dina told me this, I was a little alarmed. I needed to know if something truly inappropriate was going on between Jace and Dina's niece, so I decided to talk to Jace about it. He just sighed and said, "Look, Kathy, Dina did want me to be with her niece, but I was never interested in her. I already told Dina multiple times. I'm so sorry she said those things to you. I don't understand one thing, Jay. Dina has ruined so many of your relationships and even destroyed your relationship with your mom. Still, why do you allow her in your life?" "Oh, I feel guilty about kicking her out. She does love me and was good to me. I don't want to be ungrateful. Plus, Dad didn't leave her anything when he died, so I feel like I should take responsibility." It didn't take a psychologist to know that Jace had been heavily brainwashed by Dina. Despite multiple bad incidents, Jace refused to throw Dina out of his life, no matter how much she bad-mouthed me or Bella. Jace felt like he couldn't do anything. I almost didn't marry him because of Dina, but Jace's love for me made me forgive him. Mind you, I wasn't going to put up with Dina. I was simply trying to look for a chance to show Jace the truth, and boy, I did get a chance. About 2 years after me and Jace got married, Jace became the CEO of a big company with a huge part of his inheritance. He bought a lot of shares and got selected as the CEO by the board. It was an amazing day, and he excitedly told us this news. But we couldn't do much to celebrate. Jace was now working a lot to finalize everything and coming home super tired. It was one of those nights when Dina decided to make the most outrageous suggestion to Jace. When we were having dinner, she said, "Jace, I think it's time for you to take your life a little seriously, and make a few changes that suit your new status better." "Really? Like what, Dina? I think everything's quite perfect right now. You're a CEO now, Jay." "I think it's time you change a little. Improve yourself, I think it will benefit you a lot." "What do you mean, Dina? I don't understand. What do I need to change?" Maybe it's time you improve your life by changing a few people. I think you should find a better woman for yourself. At this point, I could feel myself getting pissed off. Dina had the audacity to sit in front of me and tell my own husband to get a better woman for himself. The audacity of the woman was astounding. She straight up told my husband to replace me. Jace was super surprised as well, but didn't say anything. But Dina decided to speak on and on about it. She said, "You know, when a man climbs the ranks at work, it is important for him to have a presentable family. If anyone appears to be out of place, people will question and judge him. That doesn't mean I need to change my freaking family members, Dina. This is an insane idea overall and not practical at all." Don't be dramatic, Jace. A lot of people upgrade their family when they get richer or have a higher status than before. It's a completely normal thing. I'm sure that you have heard about it. Your friend Ryan did it too. Let me tell you a little about Ryan. He is not that relevant to the story except in this place. Ryan divorced his first love and wife after he got a high-paying job. His own words were, "Why should I stay with her when I can marry an A's?" Ryan was then promptly disowned by all his friends, including us. Now I know why Dina supported Ryan and asked Jace to reconnect with him even when he said no. Dina wanted Jace to follow Ryan's example and divorce me as well, but instead of saying that in words, she tried to be a little indirect. Somehow her words didn't quite have the effect on Jace. He said, "You know that I hate Ryan now, Dina. None of our friends are in contact with him anymore." "Oh, that's because your stupid wife filled your head with stuff." Believe me, Jace, Ryan did the right thing. He knew what was best for him and his future. He followed his heart, and he's happy now. Think about it, Jace. I really do want the best for you. Fine, then. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll get a better woman for myself. Now leave me alone and let me have my dinner in peace. I was a little stunned by Jace's words. Look, I trust my husband, but I also know that he doesn't just say anything to please people. He literally does what he says. He looked pretty irritated and had his food in silence. Meanwhile, Dana was smiling widely and casting me her signature smirks over her food. It was disgusting, and it made my skin crawl. I could barely eat anything and didn't eat much of my food. Jace also didn't eat a lot and left for our room as soon as he could. Just when I was about to follow him, Dina caught my arm and laughed at me. "What's the hurry, Kathy? You are desperate to beg Jace not to divorce you. Well, there is no use running after him. Like he said, he might be looking for a new woman already. This makes you very happy, doesn't it, Dina? You think you had this extremely clever idea that would remove me from Jace's life, right?" "I did have the best idea, Kathy. He will divorce you and marry my niece, who is just perfect for him. I knew it. This was your plan all along. You want your niece to take my place, and you are willing to destroy my marriage for them. That hell. You don't even care about Jace's feelings now. Now, Kathy. Don't make me out to be the bad guy. I did warn you that Jace will drop you in an instant after he becomes the CEO. You are no match for such a big man. Plus, you don't deserve my ex-husband's assets. It should go to my family since I was his last wife. I may not have kids, but I love my niece like my own." Wow, Dana. Today, you literally accepted that Jace means nothing to you. You only act lovingly towards him because you want him to share his money with your family. Bravo, Dina. I haven't met a worse woman than you. My niece has my blood, Kathy. Jace is only a stepson and nothing else. I don't care if he's happy with my niece. I just want her to enjoy all of Jace's assets after they get married. It wouldn't even matter if Jace is happy. Even if he divorces her, she will take half his assets. It was slowly starting to make sense why Dana was so adamant about making me sign a prenup before marriage. She wasn't suspicious of me per se. She was just stopping me from getting what she had planned to keep for her niece. It was pathetic and downright disgusting. I seriously cringed and got nauseous when I thought about her plan. At that time, her words hit me in the gut like a ton of bricks. Dina kept saying horrible things to me and dreaming about Jace's second marriage already. It was so disgusting and hurtful that I ran away crying. I was sitting in the garden crying when Jace approached me. He said, "Hey, Kathy, what's the matter? Why are you crying like this?" "You know why, Jace. Do you still have to ask? Dina's proposal hurt you, didn't it? She specifically targeted you today. It was bizarre. Why did you agree with her then? Are you planning to divorce me and marry someone else? Dana told me that she plans to make you marry her niece." "What? Oh God, I should have seen this coming. This is why she has been so insistent about this get-a-better-woman nonsense. This woman will never learn. And you, Kathy, do you really think I would divorce you? That's not possible. Then why did you tell her that you will get a better woman?" "I wasn't thinking much, Kathy. I just wanted her off my back. I had a long day, and Dina had the worst timing. I know it came off as me agreeing with her. It's not like that. I would never replace you, Kathy. You know that. You were the only one for me." Hearing Jace say those words really did wonders for my mood and self-confidence. And for a while, Dina's words were really hurting me from the inside. I felt inadequate and inferior to her and her niece. Dina did have a way of getting under people's skin. She successfully did that with Jace for years, and literally manipulated him into thinking she cared for him. When the hurt subsided in me, I was filled with anger. I knew that I had to do something. So I told Jace, word for word, the conversation I had with Dina when he left for our room. Jace listened to me carefully while getting visibly angrier every second. After I told him everything, he said, "I see that I made a big mistake by keeping her in my life and this house. I should have cut her off a long time ago. I should have done it when she tried to poison me against my mom. Bella has always been right about Dina and me. Dina is a monster and a master manipulator. She literally broke up 18 years of marriage all by herself. God, I feel so stupid, Kathy. I ignored Mom, and I even ignored you when you guys tried to warn me. I even let Dina get away with insulting you guys for years. I should have stood up for you guys a long time ago. What have I done? It's easy to blame yourself now, Jace, but you were just trying to be a good stepson. I know you didn't want Dana kicked out since this was her marital home, and I know that you genuinely cared for her and thought she did too, but today, Dina proved to all of us what a snake she is. I want to dig a hole and bury myself. What do I do, Kathy? I'm done being nice to Dana. She's crossed all limits. We need to do something. It was then that I knew I needed to do something. Jace was finally seeing the light and willing to stand up for me, Bella, and himself. Dina's golden days were about to be gone if I played my cards right. There was no way I would let Dana get away this time. She was going down once and for all. A plan was already in my head, so I said, maybe we should just listen to her and do what she says. What, are you serious? What are you even talking about, Kathy? I am not freaking replacing you with her niece or anyone else for that matter. It won't be like that, Jace. Dina wanted you to get a better woman in your life, right? Do it. Then get a better woman. Then we will get our real revenge. Jace looked at me confused and asked me to explain myself. When I told him my entire plan, he was shocked and delighted. He didn't expect me to come up with such a simple and fast solution to our problem. But he wasn't surprised at all. I am a fast thinker, and that's what attracted him to me in the first place. I simply showed him another example of my sharp finger thinking. Jace was completely on board with the plan. It would be quick, and justice would be served pretty well. Dina didn't know what was coming for her. It took us 2 weeks to execute the plan completely. Within these 2 weeks, Dina never stopped bringing up the better woman theory. She grilled Jace every time she saw him, with and without my presence. When he was gone for work, she didn't let the time go to waste. During this time, saying Chinchitan, she made sure to tell me about all the bad days that were waiting for me. This ridiculous woman even had the audacity to invite her niece to tour the house when Jace was away. The two of them made some snarky comments about how the house would soon be theirs, but Jace and I didn't crack under pressure. We were prepared and had a strong plan in mind. While Jace was away for work, I completed all the formalities necessary to make our plan work. Together, me, Jace, and another important person made the plan happen. It was now showtime. It was one warm, sunny Sunday morning when Dunna got the biggest shock of her life. When we were having breakfast, Dina was her usual self, pestering Jace to bring a new woman in. When we were about done, the doorbell rang. We had already heard a car pull up to the house. Dina got up to get the door, but was shocked when someone opened the lock and walked inside. It was none other than Bella, my true mother-in-law. Dina looked shocked and said, "What the hell, Bella? How did you get into the house like that? Did you steal the keys?" "I had no idea you were turning into a criminal." "Oh my God, why did you bring so many boxes? What's going on?" Dana continued, "Who said I stole the keys? My one and only son gave me the keys to his house, and the boxes are here because my son wants me to stay at this house with him." "That is impossible. You're lying. This can't be happening. I'm sure you're making up a story. Jace, tell me she's lying." Dina frantically looked at Jace, expecting him to parrot her thoughts and assumptions. She really thought that Jace was so under her control that he wouldn't do such a thing. Dina really expected Jace to put her above his own mother. So when Jace confirmed her worst fears instead, she was shocked. Jace said, "Why would my mom lie to you, Dana? I called her to stay here and gave her the keys. She will be moving her stuff today itself. Mom will temporarily stay in the guest room till we get everything sorted." "No, oh no, this can't be true. Why did you bring your mom into this house, Jace? You didn't even ask me or take my permission. Did Kathy make you do this? This must be her plan. She's mad because I asked you to replace her." "Absolutely not, Dana. You asked me to get a better woman in my life. So I went to the most important woman in my life and asked her, 'How do I get a better woman in my life?' Then I reminded him that his own mother has been living in a small house for many years due to someone's manipulative tactics here." Jason, his own mother, grew apart. It was time he got rid of the bad mom and replaced her with his real mom. I suggested Bella come stay with us, and Jace agreed. Hearing this, Dina turned absolutely pale. She never thought that when she talked about replacing people in Jace's life, she would be the one to get replaced. It was hilarious to see the expression on her face change so quickly. And it was still changing. She now looked desperate and very upset. She said, "Jace, did you really just listen to these two nasty women and make your decision? You know very well that I wanted to replace Kathy. How did you end up trying to replace me?" "I'm not trying to replace you, Dunna," Jace replied firmly. "I'm replacing you with a better woman, that is, my mother. You have no right to call Kathy and my mom nasty. If there is anyone who's been nasty, it's you. I know that you were using me to let your niece get on my property. It wasn't like that, Jace. I swear. I only wanted the best for you. Kathy and Bella are turning you against me. They are cheap and scheming people. Don't you dare say those things again. My mom and my wife are the most loyal and caring people I know. They may not be rich, but their hearts are pure, unlike yours. They want the best for me, while you just fake your love to take advantage of me. There is no use manipulating me anymore, Dana. I'm done with you. My lawyer will be here in a few minutes handing you an eviction notice. I want you out by the end of this month. Dana was super shocked when she heard this. She really didn't believe in her life that Jace would turn against her. It did make me wonder a little as to why she valued herself so much. I mean, it's natural for a man to choose his mom and wife over his bad stepmother. I guess Dina thought that since she came from a well-to-do family, Jace would keep her to maintain his reputation. Thankfully, Jace wasn't as shallow or prejudiced as her. When Dana realized that Jace was serious, she began to beg and plead with Jace to change his mind. She said, "Jace, why are you doing this, son? I know that I might have made you mad by suggesting that you change your wife. But believe me, I had your best interests at heart. Each instance, your mom is supporting Kathy because they want to mooch off of you." "Oh, really, Dina? They are my blood family, and it's natural for them to depend on me. Plus, both Mom and Kathy have their own jobs. They don't need me to support them. You are the only one who doesn't have a job and depends on me completely. Jace, how can you say that to me? I loved you like my own son, and now you are comparing me with your blood family?" "Absolutely not, Dina. I know why you acted like you cared about me. You wanted your niece to marry me and have your blood family to get my father's assets. You didn't think I would find out." At this point, Dana knew that all of her secrets had been revealed. She had no way of defending herself anymore. Jace wasn't that stupid. Now that he knew the truth, he didn't feel any guilt in kicking Dana out. Also, it was at this point that we realized why Jace's father didn't leave Dina much. He knew that she would trample Jace and leave him to fend for himself. Jace's father wasn't a good man, but he loved his son. Dina did everything possible to change Jace's mind. Bella had already moved into the house and was staying in the guest room. Me, Bella, and Jace were all thinking about modifying Dina's room to make it better for Bella. Dina couldn't stand these discussions. She didn't like the fact that we were doing exactly what she did to us for all these years. She cried every day and begged Jace to give her another chance. When the month was up, Dina refused to move, so Jace's lawyer was called up, who explained to Dina the legal implications if she didn't move out before we went to court. That scared her, and she moved in with her niece. A few days passed, and surprise, her niece kicked her out too. I mean, Dina literally didn't have much anymore. When her niece realized that she couldn't get anything from her, she kicked Dina out. She was back at our door begging and pleading. This time she was desperate, so she begged and asked me for forgiveness too. I ignored her and shut the door on her face. There was no way I would ever let her into my life again. Jace didn't even want to look at her. He was finally happy having Dina's toxic presence out of his life. Dina couch surfed at a lot of places until she was forced to find work. I guess she's now working as a babysitter, but isn't doing very well. Gone are her days of glamour, and now she dresses plainly and lives like the people she had insulted in her life. It has now been 6 months, and I can say for sure karma has been served to my